Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andme. Thanks for being here today. I'm happy to be sharing with you today a topic that I think is really valuable at any time in our lives, but especially as we get a little older. I think that as we're aging, we see things in a different lens. We see things with a more serious lens because we know how things can turn out, and we know that certain emotions and certain ways, coping mechanisms are not always going to lead to a positive outcome. But there is one thing that we need every single minute of our lives in order to survive, or to live a happy and healthy life, and that is hope. We have to have hope. Now, you may say, is it even possible? I mean, when we be overwhelmed by things that are out of our control, that we cannot manage, that are just too much to take on, overwhelming in their intensity, how can we have hope? And I think that's such a powerful, powerful question. Now, Noelle Nelson is one of our bloggers. She wrote this article on having only positive expectations is the way to achieve hope. And of course, that spells the word hope. Having only positive expectations. It doesn't mean that you're going to live in some kind of a fairy tale land where things are not real, where you're not dealing with sadness, you're not dealing with loss or anger or any, or confusion in any dimension of your life. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that having a lens of always having a positive expectation that it's going to somehow in the end all turn out. Now, what is hope? Well, it's a feeling that what we want is what we can have. It can be had. Now, it may not be exactly the same thing. It may not look the same. It may have a different lens to it. But that's a positive outcome is always the outcome of hope. If we want to try to restore our own personal lives to health, and that means our healthy being, body, mind, and spirit, and we want to even try to restore our world to health. And there's always going to be challenges. It doesn't matter, where and when we're around. It's always going to be challenging. And those are the times where we have to, find hope at its deepest, deepest level. Because sometimes it's in the shadows. But and the positive expectation may look like it's a long, long way off. But I think having it is what gets you up in the morning, makes you feel like it's worth living another day. It's a really great book by Paul Tillich. He's a Christian theologian, but I read his book years and years ago. But he said that, The Courage to Be is the title of his book. And we are, as human beings, have this amazing ability to hope, and have the hope that we will continue on even in the face of our own mortality. And that, this whole idea of the courage to just be is just powerful and strong, and what makes us human. It makes us human at the highest level. So the advantage of starting with that H.O.P.E message, I think, is a tool. We can have it even if our feelings are fluctuating like madly from day to day. One minute we feel in control, the next day we feel completely out of control. It's okay. They will keep us going. Now, I would like to invite you to read this article actually by Noelle, because it's very powerful in its expectation that there's something really visceral about hope. It's not just an abstract kind of, mental thing. It's actually a physical reality that can lead to outcomes that are tangible. So everybody's probably familiar with that book, The Secret, where, people, if you have an intention, if you have the desire, if you put your mind to a specific goal, you can achieve it. You can achieve it by positive mental attitude. So that's, for example, if you want to have wealth in your life, or you want to have health, perhaps you want love, friendship, or maybe it's just you want to have calm. You want to have calm in your life. Those are all things that of course you can use the practices of meditation and the intention vision board mentality, or you can simply cultivate an attitude of gratefulness and hope, that having only positive expectations. And if you expect something is going to happen in a positive way, the chances are that it will. It's just like children. If you have the intention that they're going to be safe with a pair of scissors, and you know that you've taught them to be safe, you've got to have a hope for a positive expectation that they're going to learn. Not just that maybe scissors isn't the best idea because they can be dangerous, but if you give them the tools to make good decisions, like to make good friendships, to make right choices, that's going to be the way to a positive outcome. Actually, there is a book. It's called The Continuum Concept, and it's about a tribe, I think, in South America, where they do this with the children. They let them, walk on very steep cliffs. They let them use tools at very young age because they just have an expectation that it's going to be a positive outcome. And it's a fascinating way of looking at child rearing, but I think it's that idea that if you have an expectation of positivity, that's what's going to happen. So there's so many things going on in the world right now, I'm sure, that are seem overwhelming in their complexity and in their intensity. But there are always going to be things ahead of us to help. Technology, for example. I mean, I cannot imagine my life without technology, without the ability to connect with people, almost at the, like the snap of my fingers. I mean, it really is that Bill Gates information at your fingertips. It's just there for us. It really is a part of life now, and it's really something that you can use to reinforce that hope. If you're not feeling it one day, just pick up the phone, or pick up the phone, go on the computer online and just say, hey, you call a friend or call someone that understands you, and make a connection. Enjoy that FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or whatever you're doing. There's so many online experiences too now that are just so reaffirming. Just check them all out and see people all around the world trying to make the most of this life. And it's still shifting, it's all changed, but there are ways that you can become part of a culture without traveling to it. There are ways you can meet people without physically, getting in touch. It's all there. Make connections with the whole world. And then I think that's, for me, has been one of the greatest journeys in my life is just knowing that there's people out there like me, and 60andme community has certainly been at the heart of that, and I'm just so grateful for it. When this whole thing about the word hope being hope for positive always have positive expectations is also important, I think, in the way that you shape your lifestyle after you're 60. And if you assume you're going to retire, you're going to lose the money that's coming in every month, you're going to not have your work colleagues around you, you're not going to have your children nesting in your house, then you aren't going to have a positive your expectation is going to be it's going to be without something. It's going to be a negative expectation. But if you see it the other way, turn the glass, it is the half full, half empty, turn it around and say, okay, this is going to change. I'm not going to have this work or this job or this family connectivity, but I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this other thing. And I think it's taking your emotions and is somehow turning them. I have found personally meditation is super helpful for this because it helps you to stay focused on the present, because I think that's where our negative emotions start to slide. They slide into the past, regrets, guilt, feeling sorry, mistakes, things that you can't retrieve, things that you can't bring back, things that you regret. That's where those negative emotions take you. So how can you possibly have hope if you keep dwelling in that past? What you've got to do is turn that around and look at the positive present, because even the future you can't predict. You can put all the expectations together, but you've got to activate them with actions right now in the moment. So let hope be your guide. I hope that you feel hopeful. I actually use the word hope a lot. I've discovered that in my messaging, and I think it's because I think it's such a powerful word. It gives a message to someone else, which gives them a gift of, it's going to be okay. I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that you're finding meaning in your life. I hope that you found the love that you want. And I just think that it's a great word. So can you describe a hopeful thought that you've had that actually turned into something that was so powerfully beautiful? Share with us, because I think that's part of the 60andme community, that we can share with each other the things that we've learned. So have only positive expectations in your life, in your world, in your personal and in your physical mental health. Just take very good care of yourself, and I'm with you always. Just be strong, be safe, be well, and know that you're loved and respected always. Take really good care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.